Good afternoon. Let's do some more Christian comedy. I'm gonna talk about David and Goliath. You know who's the villain. With that name Goliath, who wouldn't be a villain? So, you know, Israel is at war with the Philistines, as usual, and the Philistines send their big man. He looks like Hulk. He's as tall as Shaquille O'Neal. I think even more tall than Shaquille O'Neal. He is so tall and big muscles, like Hulk. And he challenges Israel. He tells them, pick a man from your team, come and beat me up, and if you beat me up, you win the war. So it's incredible. Everybody in Israel, all the soldiers are panicking. Bunch of cowards. They are panicking because, again, appearances. They are seeing the size of Goliath there, but they are not looking at the real giant, which is Yahweh. Bunch of cowards. So they are trembling every time that Goliath comes and challenges. Goliath is so big. His muscles are two times the size of Shaquille O'Neal. He's just a beast, a huge monster, so to speak. Not even Godzilla can compare to this dude. So this giant is challenging, and all the Israelite soldiers get scared. Even the king, Saul, gets all scared, so scared that they have to go to the restroom to pee. It's unbelievable. Where was their faith in God? That's why you must always put your faith in God, never in yourself. Put your faith in God, who's a true giant. And so, David goes to Israel. He's visiting. He lives in the town side, so he's visiting Israel, bringing some food for his brethren. See, they have him as the mail boy. They have him as the lunch boy. Oh man, appearances. So he brings some food to his brothers who are soldiers, and he hears what Goliath is, the challenge, and David goes and tells his brothers, I could defeat him, man. I could defeat him. With God's grace and God's help, I can defeat this giant. And his brother, look at this little midget, this little grasshopper. He thinks he can beat the giant. His own brothers laughing at him. Unbelievable. Anyhow, so David, he got words reached to the king that David wants to fight the giant. David have the courage, because there's an courage element to faith. Faith empowers you with courage, the faith of God. So the king looks at the boy and he like, are you sure you wanna fight Goliath? We're talking about Goliath. It rhymes with Godzilla, I hope you saw that movie, David. So anyhow, he like, okay, are you sure you wanna fight him? This is not Mortal Kombat, this is not Dragon Ball Z or Street Fighter. No, David, this is a real life fight. So we need to get you an armor, something like Iron Man, we need to get you an armor. So they dress up David in this huge armor, but he can't move. He's not flexible. David's like, I can't be Jordan on this. I can't make my moves, my Kobe Bryant moves in this armor, man. So he got rid of the armor. So he decided, and unbelievable, he just goes with a slingshot and a few stones. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, that's like going with a fork to fight Superman. Unbelievable. But David has his faith on God. And when he sees Goliath, Goliath is like, but wait a minute. You send a little puppy to fight with me? I mean, who's this little puppy here? He's all red. Look at his hair, all red. I mean, isn't this is an insult, man? This is an UFC battle. This is being shown through cable television, and you bring David to fight me? Come on, man. I understand if you bring Muhammad Ali or Mayweather or Pacquiao, but David, man, David, really? You wanna put David to fight with me? And he laughs. But David have courage. And David tells the giant, he don't even call him a giant. David ain't seeing no giant. David is seeing the real giant, which is Yahweh. So he tells the giant, you come against us, but I come against you in the name of Yahweh. In other words, I'm representing the real giant here, okay? You ain't no giant. You are the little grasshopper here. So David, and another thing, David tells him, you are uncircumcised. And the circumcision was the sign of the covenant. So in other words, he's telling him, you are not in covenant, man. I am in covenant with God. I have rights with God. God has my back because the contract says so. So you are not in covenant with God. You are not under the contract. I am under the contract. I have covenant rights, and you going down, baby. You going down, you Goliath. So David just take his slingshot and just one stone right there in the head. And the man is down. The giant is no longer a giant. And David goes and he does a 300 move. 300 a movie. And he takes the sword and cut the giant's head. I mean, how bloody can get. I tell you. Some stories in the Bible should be rated R. Anyhow, so David cut his head and he just showed it to the Philistines. Look, this is your so-called giant. The Philistines panic. They panic because they say they have our whole Hogan down. They have our Undertaker down. Run, people, run. David is cutting heads. So, what's the point of what I want to make in this story? Courage. You have to have courage to confront the mountains in your life. I know you're gonna feel fear, but when you put your faith in God and you trust in His new covenant contract, you're under contract. God has to back you up. I mean, there's no so-called giant that can bring you down because you're under the new covenant contract. And you have the name of Jesus, the name of Yeshua. You have the name of Jesus, so you have covenant rights. So have courage. Whatever the giant that is challenging you, whether it be sickness, whether it be poverty, whether it be marriage problem, whether it be whatever the problem is, just face it, man. Face that giant. Have the courage. Speak to the mountain. The mountain be removed. Mountain, keep speaking to the mountain. Mountain, get out of my sight, mountain. And speak to the devil. Speak to those demons. Speak to these diseases. You have covenant rights. You have a right to healing. You have a right. You have a right. You have covenant rights. So don't be afraid. Have courage. And tell those Goliaths that you have the real giant, Yahweh, Yeshua, backing you up. Have courage. Have faith.